Good morning or afternoon, everybody. I'm not too sure when this goes out. I'm in my loft again, just because it's the quietest place away from my children singing Frozen songs at the top of their lungs. Um, there was one of them then. Uh, so I'm just going to talk to you quickly just about staying safe again. I did an assembly that literally doesn't feel like it was that long ago because it was about a week ago, on the same sorts of things. We just want to make sure this is just a quick video for everybody, just to remind you about how to be safe when returning to school. We're looking at you. Teachers are going back to their original classroom. So rather than year 7, 8, 9, and 10 sort of staying in their own classes for the whole day, they're now going to move and go to where. So each teacher will have their own classroom. You will move there. Um, so that means there's going to be a few changes. Firstly, tables and things are going to be sprayed and wiped down at the end of every lesson, just to make sure that all sort of surfaces are sanitised. We need to make sure, though, that when that happens, when you're moving around school, you're doing it quickly, calmly, and quietly. Don't make sure that you're not engaging in any sort of physical contact with anybody else in the school, which really plays into making sure that you're caring for others for their safety and their welfare. Obviously, those of you who are still online for the Monday and Tuesday and part of Wednesday, just make sure that you're still keeping yourself safe when you're online. And just remember that what we don't want you to do is risk the safety of yourself and others. Okay, these are rules in place to protect each other and protect our own families. So just remember, sanitize your hands regularly. Make sure that your face is covered with your nose and your mouth, especially with your face covering, and keep your distance from others as much as possible. In the classrooms, make sure you stay in your seat and only move if you have permission to do so, and this will be for a lot of limited reasons. We will also obviously be keeping windows open and doors open for good ventilation. It's less of a problem now than it was during the winter, especially as anybody that has been in school recently knows that it is starting to warm up in there quite nicely, so you don't need to worry about being cold. If you do have to cough or sneeze, obviously use a tissue, catch it, bin it, kill it, or the inside of your elbow if you can't. Make sure you bring your own water drink. The water fountains are turned off. That's for just for everybody, just so that we're not contaminating each other through there and needing to sanitize them every 30 seconds or so. So if you need a refill of water, you can go down to student reception, main reception, and ask them, and I'm sure that they'll do that for you. And also make sure you're playing your part, because we're now moving to students going to classes and staff having their own classroom. Okay, one of the things we're going to trial is not having the one-way system in, um, because that way you can get there quicker. All right. What we're looking at is if you're on the second floor in English and you've then got a tech lesson, rather than having to go all the way down to the ground floor and then along and then back up, what we want you to go back along floor 2, up the nearest stairwell, get to your class. That's where the quickly, calmly, and quietly comes in. You need to make sure you get into classrooms as quick as possible, not complicating corridors. And you need to make sure that you're doing that calmly and quietly, rather than shouting, because as you all, I'm sure, are aware, that any sort of excess loudness or projection of your voice is helping to spread any potential issue that you've got. That's about all of it for return to school and being safe. Looking forward to seeing everybody at some point next week, and getting everybody back in school and back to life as we can. All right. So nice to see you all, and I'll see you all soon.